Hello out there, YouTube. Let's give this a few minutes. A few minutes. All right, there we are. All right. I pray that you all have had a great day. Let's see here. Let's do some stuff before Dr. JaNee starts talking. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hit the share. Guess what? Hold on, son. Just doing something before I start, y'all. I ain't gonna be long. Paste. Okay. All right. Good afternoon and happy Friday. Hello. I pray that you all have had an amazing day. I pray that you all are well. Hold on. Okay, sidebar. I am in our bedroom, and our youngest son is sleeping or trying to sleep next to me. I don't know how long this gonna last, so he may just wake up and be the 4-year-old that he is. So happy Friday. I pray that you all are well. I pray that you all have had a fantastic Friday, that you had a faith-filled Friday, that your day was filled and is still being filled with lots of smiles, lots of joy, lots of peace, a lot of thoughts of excitement. And you may be asking, excitement about what, right? Let me make this light a little bit brighter. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think I like that mode. You may be asking, excited about what? Let me tell y'all something. There's so much to be thankful for. Hi. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you all are tuning in. Make sure you all come in and share this live broadcast. Make sure you text this link to about 2 or 3 people. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I am Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help women overcome mindsets that prevent profit, progress, and prosperity so that they will have the boldness and the bravery to walk in their purpose and serve the world in an amazing way. So, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is that you all are tuning in. I want you all to know this, regardless of what you all are going through in your lives right now, and I don't know what your story is. My prayer is that you find joy in every situation. And how do we find joy? And this is not about what I'm going to talk about today, but how do you find joy in some of the greatest challenges? You literally identify things that you can be grateful for, right? The fact that I am able to sit here and hit the live button, and let me tell you this from a business perspective. I'm grateful to be alive, of course. I am grateful to have breath in my body. But let me tell y'all something, even as it pertains to entrepreneurship, it is a blessing. Do y'all realize that all we need is a phone? All you need is a phone. Take 2 seconds to sign up for TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever channel it is that you tune into or you like or prefer. Hit the live button or hit the share button and share your gift, your talents, your creations with the world. I'm going to say that again, because sometimes we take for granted the advantage that we have of social media, right? The blessing of social media is you don't have to leave your house. Do you realize maybe 20 years ago, probably a little bit more than that or a little bit less than that, about 20 years ago, that people had to go knock on physical doors? And let me tell you, let's put this into perspective. Imagine getting up in the morning, putting on a full suit, getting out in the weather to go knock on somebody's door or ring someone's doorbell, so and possibly face rejection in person, to share your product or your service. You get up, brush your teeth with the intention of, okay, I'm going to go share my product, my service, and you go door to door or business to business, whether it's residential, commercial, what have you. You don't know what's on the other side of that door or who on the other side of that door, right? And you get up and you take hours to go knock on doors, to speak to a limited amount of people, right? To possibly face, I'm sure, 9 times out of 10 rejection. People be in the house, don't answer the phone. Don't answer the door. But we have the pleasure of using a device, a mobile device, to sign up what would take 2 seconds to sign up for a social media platform and hit the live button or hit the share button or hit the post button to share whatever it is that you created with millions of people. The more that you're consistent, right? So I want you all, for those of you all who are in the entrepreneur world, because I know sometimes, even for me, I have to like shift my perspective sometimes to remind myself of just how blessed I am to have the ability to share my gifts easily with the world. So that's my soapbox. So again, if you all haven't, make sure you share this live broadcast. Today we're going to talk about, it will all be worth it. It will all be worth it. I'm telling you, where you are in your business, your purpose, your passion, that idea you have, it's going to all be worth it. I had a revelation. I got up this morning, I dropped our son off to school, and I'm going to share with you all 3 reasons why you must do what you don't want to do in your purpose. So I got up, and I'm going to tell y'all, intention is everything. So I literally intended to work out this morning because my schedule kind of changed. So I had to change my workout plan because I understand that being a woman, a wife, a mom, an entrepreneur, it requires me to be at my best. And for me, y'all, exercise is my self-care, right? And one thing about exercise for me is that it's not something, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it's not something that I absolutely love doing. Let me just say that. I don't absolutely just love getting up to work out. But let me tell y'all this. What I love most about working out is what it does for me mentally and emotionally. The physical byproduct and the physical results of exercising are amazing. Don't get me wrong. But the blessing of being able to exercise is more so for the mental and emotional state for me. So nonetheless, I literally laid my clothes out because I'm one of those type of people. If I once I get my clothes on, or I'm exercising or I'm working out. So I said, you know what, let me lay out my whole outfit so that I can exercise with the intention. So once I get these kids ready, we get out the door, I'm going to work out. And let me tell y'all, the mind is so serious. So on my way there, I had all of these thoughts about, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I didn't feel like exercising. I didn't feel like doing this. I didn't feel like doing that. But I knew that I must, right? I knew that I had to do that. That may have not been grammatically correct, but y'all understand. I knew that it was something that I had to do, right? And I'm going somewhere, so y'all flow with me. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click the link below and get access to the 5 mistakes that women make that prevent them from profiting from their purpose. And I got there, I got out the truck, and I started walking. And mind y'all, like what I had to do, I put in my AirPods and turned on the music. And I started walking, and I started walking. And the more I started walking, the more I started walking fast. And the more I started walking fast, my heart rate increased, and I started sweating, and I started getting like my mojo, right? And I got to the end of my workout, and when I tell y'all, it was the greatest feeling ever. The greatest feeling ever. It was the greatest sense of accomplishment. It was the thing that I knew that I needed to do that I necessarily did not want to do in the moment. And I want to share with you all 3 revelations that I had as to why 3 reasons you must do what you don't want to do. How many of y'all don't feel like doing a lot of stuff that you need to do? right? You may need to hit the live button. You may need to post. You may need to go out and partner with people. You may need to do some research or whatever it is, or sign up for programs. But sometimes we just don't feel like doing it. Just like in exercising, you may just not feel like doing it, but you know you need to do it. So reason number one why you must do what you don't want to do as you move forward in your purpose is you got to remember this ain't about you. This is so not about you. And I've said this over and over again because this is something that I constantly remind myself of. One of the top reasons why you must do what you don't want to do as you move forward in your purpose ain't about you. Whatever it is you creating, the gifts that you have, it ain't about you. It's not about you at all. It's not about you. So the question is, okay, Dr. JaNee, who is it about? Do you realize, and I say this, and I'm gonna have to get me a t-shirt made. Maybe somebody will make me a t-shirt. I gotta find somebody to make me a t-shirt. You are a solutionist. If you are an entrepreneur, even if you're working on somebody's job, you are a solutionist. And a solutionist is not a real word. That is a word that Dr. JaNee created. But what is a solutionist? It's someone who has created a solution or a source or solutions to somebody's problem. Do you realize that there are people out there who are struggling with the very problem that you have a solution for? And they will gladly invest in themselves through you to get their problem solved. Well, how do you know that, Dr. JaNee? I want you to think about it. And I use this one because I know people like go get this taken care of, okay? If your tooth was hurting, any of y'all ever had a toothache? If your tooth was hurting, what you gonna do? 9 times out of 10, in wisdom, you're gonna contact the dentist. I don't care if you haven't been to a dentist in 10 or 15 years. You're gonna go to a dentist. And you're gonna pay the dentist whatever amount of money that they ask you to pay to get that tooth out. Why? Because the pain was great enough. The pain was so great that the money did not matter. I'm going to say that again. The pain of that toothache was so much greater than the money that you would be required to invest. Do you realize that someone is suffering with the pain or the problem that you solve, and they would gladly invest in themselves through you to get that problem solved? And they'll pay whatever it is because the pain is greater than the investment that you're asking for. So what you've created, I don't care if it's a song, a movie, some shoes, an outfit, whatever it is, it's not about you. It's so not about you. It's so much greater than you. Do you realize when you solve someone else's problem that positions someone else to be able to then go out and solve somebody else's problem? I was speaking with my accountability partner today, and she was telling me about a challenge that she was having with executing and doing what was required to position herself to be paid. And I was then able to provide her with certain steps to get in processes to get in order for her to easily execute and move forward so that she can focus on profit. She then sent me a text message and said, "Thank you so much. This is very helpful," right? So she's now positioned because she got a solution to her problem through me. Now what she's going to do is she's going to position herself so that she can then help somebody else. Do you realize that when you share your solution with somebody else and solve their problem, you then position them to be able to then go out and help solve somebody else's problem? So it's not about you. It's so much greater than you. Reason number 2 that you must do the stuff that you just don't want to do in order for you to move forward in your purpose. Let me get this up. It's required, right? It's required for you to do the things that you must do in order to become the person that you need to become in order to do the very thing that you desire to do. So, as an example, let's just say that your goal is to serve 10,000 people in whatever your industry is. Your goal is to become a millionaire. Well, here's the thing. Before you become a millionaire physically, before you get the money in your business bank account, before the money is tangible in your hands, do you realize that you first must have the mindset of a millionaire? You must have the actions, the posture, the position to make millions. I always say this: the biggest thing that you will ever build is not a business, it's not a following, it's not a program, it's not a service. The biggest thing that you will ever build is yourself. The biggest the biggest project that you will ever have is you building yourself. That's why it's so challenging initially to get the results that you want to get and even maintain the results, because you first have to become the person who is able to do it. We want instant results. We want instant manifestation of the things that we desire. But you have to understand that you must embrace the process to become who you must become to accomplish the things that you desire to accomplish. So what does that look like? You got to get rid of bad habits. You got to get rid of being one who procrastinates. There are things about you right now that you can't take with you to your next. There are mindsets that you have right now that are not going to serve you at the millionaire status. There are limiting beliefs that you have right now that will chase those millions of people and millions of dollars away. So it's important, hear me, it's important that you embrace all of the things that you just don't want to do, that you know you need to do, so that you can become the person who can maintain if your goal is $1 million or six figures. Embrace the process. Embrace whatever the activities are. Embrace whatever the requirements are. Because it's all going to be worth it. If you don't embrace it now, what you're doing is you're stalling your maturity and your progression to get you where you are saying you desire to be. But if you continue to resist the activities, the exercises, the things that you must do, you're going to end up stalling your progression or not making it there. And I've spoken to a lot of people who feel like they're so far behind. I've spoken to so many people, men and women, who feel like they should have been further along. How many of you all can relate to that? You feel like you should have been much further along than this. You feel like you should have accomplished much more than this. You feel like you should have been at a better place than this. One, could it be that the reason you're not where you feel you should be is because you have been resisting what's required in order for you to get there? I know for me, real talk, sometimes I don't feel like hitting the live button. Sometimes I don't feel like being on, right? Sometimes I don't feel like it. But I realize that in order for me to reach the people that I have been called to reach, in order for me to help others get the transformation that they so desire, in order for people to even know me, I got to put myself out there. And guess what? I got to do it consistently. I got to do it consistently. Yeah, that's much better. Right? I got to do it consistently. So sometimes when I don't feel like going live, guess what? I still hit the live button. Even when it's not perfect. Because I realize that this is a part of my process to become who I must become to serve those who I have been called to serve. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're resisting? What have you been resisting doing that's preventing you from getting to what is next for you in your business, in your purpose, in your career? What is it that you're resisting? Are you resisting not getting up early in the morning? Because sometimes, certain times, right? It requires for us to get up early. I know there was a moment in time while working my job, I knew my time was limited, right? So sometimes I had to get up early in the morning before it was required of me to get our kids up to get out of the house so I can do what I needed to do for my business. But what did that build? It built discipline. It built resilience. It built consistency. It built persistence. All qualities that are needed in order for me to prosper, in order for me to be the one who can actually serve the people that I have been called to serve. So, what is it that you're resisting? Right? Number three. So, number one was the one of the top three reasons that you must do what you don't want to do in order to move forward in your purpose, or do what you want to do so you can move forward in your purpose. One, understand that it's not about you. Two, understanding that you must do what is necessary so that you can become the person who can do the very things that you have been called and created to do. These people that you see making money and having the level of success that you see, do you realize there are things on the back end that you don't see that these people do? Do you realize there are late nights, there are sacrifices that some of these people make that we have no clue about? See, people are great about showing you their open successes. But guess what? A lot of them don't tell you about their hidden failures. They don't tell you that a lot of the things that they initially pursued failed. One of the things that I love about Pinky Cole, one of the things I really do love about her, and if you all haven't, make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the link below to get your hands on the 5 mistakes that women make that prevent them from profiting in their purpose. She has been very vulnerable and transparent about her journey in entrepreneurship. She shared that one of her businesses before her starting Slutty Vegan, because initially I thought that Slutty Vegan was her first business. I thought it was her first and only business. I'm like, oh, she's doing it. Little did I know that this woman had a restaurant and it went up in flames. The stuff that we, and so I love her because she is vulnerable enough to share the pains of entrepreneurship as well as the pleasure, as well as the prosperity of entrepreneurship. Right? So a lot of these people don't tell y'all the truth. A lot of these people just tell y'all stuff because they want the followers or they want the attention so that you can buy. But you got to understand, if you're really talking about purpose, not just building a business, not just making money. I'm talking about having impact. I'm talking about being one that helps others transform. Because this is what, for me, this is what this is about. This is one of the reasons why I'll come on YouTube and share content. Because everybody is not going to enroll into my coaching programs. Everybody, and if you want to know more about my coaching programs, make sure you go to the link or click the details in the comments area. Not the comments area, but yeah, click the description. That's what it is. Lord forgive me. Click the description. Right? So for me, I want to see my clients succeed. I want to see them transform. I want to see them become who God has created them to be. So when I get testimonials of their success and what they have accomplished, oh my gosh, it is the greatest thing ever, because this is what this is all about. Right? So last thing, number 3, one of the last reason why you must do what you don't want to do for your purpose in order to move in it is because you need to do what is required to get to your next level. See, if you're walking up steps, right? Let's just say if you're walking up a staircase, right? You may be able to skip the the first step, the first two steps. But unless you have some type of device, you can't skip stories. You can't skip the stories of a building to get, unless you have a device, unless you have some amazing powers. Okay? But in order for you to get to level 2, you got to first deal with, confront, and succeed at level 1. Majority of the time, you can't skip levels in a game. So what do you think is required for you in your business? I hear people say embrace the process, but do you know what embracing the process is? A process is a series of actions or activities that's going to lead you to a certain result. If we are on an assembly line and we're making let's just say some clothes, we can't skip the thread. We can't skip the material. There's a series of processes and steps that are required in order to make whatever the product is. Let's just say it's a t-shirt. You can't skip it. And here's the thing, if you do, you're going to mess something up. If you are on an assembly line or you are working in some type of factory and you are making a shirt and you miss the stitching part, what you think, how you think that customer is going to feel when they get what's supposed to be a shirt and it's not stitched, it's not sewn? The product is going to be bad. The same thing holds true for you. Whatever you want people to buy, if you skip your process, if you skip your level, you're going to give them half of what you're supposed to give them. Because you won't be at your absolute best. Sure, we want the results to come fast. But do you realize that a lot of times that things that come very fast for people, they don't keep, they don't maintain? Let's look at weight loss. People lose a drastic amount of weight. A lot of people do. Only to gain it back. Why? Because they skip the process of embracing learning how to eat and learning how to treat their body. Some people who win the lottery, they get all these millions, get all this money, only to lose it all. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, the person who won the lottery didn't learn how to manage money nor multiply it. So they came into a large sum, and the only thing that they knew how and what to do with money is spend it. So the person just became somebody with more money, but lacked skill. I'm all for embracing my process because I want to serve people at my highest level. I'm embracing every training that I'm attending. I'm embracing every coaching session with my coach. Hi, Arkivia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Because I want to be the person that not only gets the money, obtains the clients, serve my clients well and at my highest level so that they then will go out and be the best that God has called for them to be. But if I skip my process, if I skip becoming the one who I'm supposed to become, I deny them the full transformation that they're supposed to receive through me. The same thing holds true for you. What in you needs to get out of you, mindset-wise, action-wise, so that you can serve the people that you have been called to serve at your highest level? What is it? What level are you on right now? And what processes on this level are you resisting that's preventing you from getting to level 2? Because do you realize if you negate or neglect the processes at level 1, it's going to prevent you from getting to level 2 quicker. And yeah, it may be painful, because here's the thing. One of the things about me, I love strength training. Love, love, love strength training. And right now I am doing like the regular push-ups, right? They call them, they call the augmented ones. They used to call them girl push-ups, right? And I still do some of those. But I have started doing the regular push-ups. And let me tell y'all, oh my gosh. My husband gave me the perspective because I was like, this is so hard. Getting the first one done. When I first started, it was a challenge. Oh my gosh. It was such a challenge. I was like, my arms was hurting, my chest was hurting, and I didn't even get a full push-up in the first time. But my husband was like, yeah, he gave me a perspective I didn't realize. He was like, yeah, you don't realize that you're pushing against your own body weight, right? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep showing up. I think his name is, I believe he's a pastor in Atlanta. I think his name is Darius Daniels. And I remember watching him do a video, and it was on Instagram, and he was showing where he was waking up in the morning, and he would start his morning with doing one of his parts of his morning with doing push-ups. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my morning with doing push-ups, y'all. It was challenging that first week. Oh baby, I could barely do one. But the more I showed up, I got better. The more, day two, I showed up, and it wasn't easy. I did that push up. I got one in. But guess what? I came back the following day and I showed up again. And I got better. Now I'm up to, what is it? About 7 or 8 push ups the regular way. Y'all, for me, that's amazing. That's consistency. Because guess what? At first, I couldn't do one. I understand that this is a part of my process to become healthier. But there are things in my business that I must do even when I don't feel like it. But guess what? The more I do those things, I become the person who is better for it and who can serve those who I have been called to serve at my highest level. Don't deny those that you have been created to serve through your purpose, their transformation, all because you're resisting the process of becoming who you're supposed to become. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah, you may not want to get up early. You may not want to stay up late. Trust me, I get it because I do it a lot. I do it consistently. Yeah, you may have to ask people stuff that you just don't feel comfortable with. Right? But it's necessary for you to get to your next level. It's necessary for you to impact those you have been called to serve. So I want you to ask yourself this question. What am I resisting right now that once I embrace it, it will help me to get to my next level? Are you resisting being present on social media? Are you resisting if it means going back to school? Are you resisting letting go of procrastination? Are you resisting dealing with the wounds of your soul because of what happened to you decades and years ago or last year? Are you resisting forgiveness and it's preventing you from truly letting go so that you can become the person that you have been called and created to be? Remember, if you continue to resist it, you're resisting the opportunity to get to your next level. You've been praying about it. You've been asking God for it. And here's the thing that a lot of us don't realize. When we ask God for things, and this is my understanding, I believe He loves me so much that the very thing that I'm asking for that is probably in alignment with what He wants for me, He just doesn't want to give it to me. He wants me to be the one that can take that which He gives me and multiply it and make it better. So what are you resisting? Who are you resisting becoming to get to your next level? If you all haven't already, make sure you click the link below and get access to your free gift, the 5 mistakes that women make that prevent them from profiting from their purpose. Also, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that anytime that I am live, you can join me live. Remember, your purpose is so much bigger and greater than you. Quit limiting it to you. Move forward. Know your worth. Bye, y'all.